Step into video game land. Welcome to Fine Time.
Hello, party people. It's your boy Dre. It is the fine. It is the time. It is the Steve.
Hey, guys.
It is the Kevin.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I don't have Steve's pizzazz.
You sound like a, hey mom, show me, I'm going to show you what I did at school. It's like some crappy drawing. Hey guys, look what I made, right? Like it was that kind of, hey guys, for sure.
Yeah, I've got kind of a childlike whimsy to me.
Yeah. And face. Steve, he's gonna, he keeps us, I always joke that he keeps us young, even though he's really not that far off from us. However, like,
oh, one day that old age is just going to smack him in the face. And then he's never going to stop complaining.
This hairline isn't even like thinking about receding yet, unlike the two of you. So
when he starts going great, he's going to turn into a silver fox. He's going to become, he's going to really outclass us then. It
is happening. It's especially the last like year. I'm in the beard. It's starting to show up pretty regularly. So.
You can't see on this shitty webcam, but it's really the last couple years. Oof, it's coming for me fast.
Yeah, I felt a little better about it after I stopped fighting baldness. Are you planning to fight the graying hairs, Kevin?
No, I think I'm gonna look. Yeah, I hope I don't I hope I don't have it like a patchy gray. I want it to come in kind of uniform so that I can, I want it to look refined and classy.
Silver Fox all the way. You're going to look like the president, the American president in like an anime when they have to depict the president. Yeah, that's what you're going to look like.
But chonkier.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
maybe like a Phoenix Wright president. I've kind of got the hair going.
Of course. Okay. I played games, but I'm not going to talk about games this week. I'm going to let these two guys handle it because what they got is much more interesting. I'll talk about what I've been playing at another time. But first, Kevin, I want you to tell me about Hollow Knight Silksong.
Okay, it's probably good you stepped out because I've got a lot of thoughts and feelings going here.
And I want to hear about all of them. I'm going to have questions too, so I'm going to grill you.
Yeah, well, I hope I have answers. I'm not done this game. I'm trying to savor it like a fine wine. And I was thinking, I was very acutely aware when I started this, that I know this is going to be a game that I'm going to look back and I'm going to think, I wish I could play that again for the first time. Because I felt like that about the first Hollow Knight. So I thought, don't rush this. I'm not trying to like overexplore everything to the detriment of my experience, but I'm just trying to get a very fulsome playthrough so that I really take away what I want from it.
Okay.
So I want to start with the best stuff. The polish of this. And I've spoke very highly of Hollow Knight in the past. I think that game had great art design. It had great environmental detail. I really like the aesthetic. I like the music. I like that world. I like the vibe. Everything in that aspect has raised the bar in Silksong. The backgrounds are incredible. There's so many like little details and flares, and it feels like there was a baseline of what it needed to do to look really good, and it far exceeded that because everything feels so dynamic. There's just a bunch of like little things that happen that didn't need to happen that really make it feel like an 11 out of 10 presentation wise. One thing I thought was neat, I remember when we were talking about Gran Turismo 7, Andre, and do you remember when I was talking about the reflection of the sun off the cars? And I was like,
yeah,
once in a while, the sun will shine off the hood, and I feel like I have to squint my eyes because it feels like it's so bright, but it's still just coming through the TV screen. This is the only other game that I've had that happen where there's one point And every time you walk by that point, it's kind of like by the like first main hub area. And every time I walk by that, I get that sensation where I'm like, oh, I got to squint because it's fucking really bright just right here. And that's cool.
You know what? I'll say this because I think I mentioned this to you already, is that I've seen a little bit of footage of this because, I don't live under a rock. The backgrounds in Silksong are insane compared to Hollow Knight. They're so good. If Hollow Knight looked like this, I would have been compelled to play more of it. Like Hollow Knight, as you know, didn't do much for me aesthetically, music, not really, art style, not really. But the backgrounds in Silksong really set it for me. Some of the stuff I saw, that shit they really stepped it up. So like, yeah, I think I would actually be more interested in playing Silksong just based on that exclusively. Because it's something I really want to look at, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to see the next one. I never felt that way about Hollow Knight.
Yeah, even just from like if somebody has no interest in playing this, just are a general appreciator of video games, it's worth just going and like watching some footage of this, because if you're paying attention to the backgrounds, there's such a like sense of depth and just like refinement there that's just impressive in general. So general gameplay wise, I was expecting this to play different than Hollow Knight. I wasn't expecting this to just be more Hollow Knight. But this is really, really not just more Hollow Knight. And it's not just the moveset being different either. So like just an easy comparison, 2D Metroid games, they all feel a little bit different from each other, but there's kind of like certain core aspects that you can always safely expect that when you're playing, there's going to be, the movement isn't going to be the same, but like, other than maybe Metroid and Return of Samus, like even you could say between like Fusion and Dread, I think there are certain things that you could expect before playing Dread. And this kind of gets rid of that. This is clearly a sequel to Hollow Knight, but it does not play the same in some like very fundamental ways. And the more that you open up the moveset, it further differentiates itself. But even when you first start and you just have like the base moves before you unlock any, kind of any extra abilities or whatever, it's very clear that this just handles and feels and expects different gameplay to a degree out of you. And I think that's really cool. It makes it feel like a true sequel in that aspect.
I don't think it would have been very exciting maybe for some people, but especially not for you if it was just more Hollow Knight. If it was more the DLC idea that they had before of just like being more of the same thing. And then 7 years later, I guess it's just more Hollow Knight. I don't think that would have hit.
And I wasn't expecting that. I think especially because you're playing as a different character than you play in the original. So you're expecting some differentiation. But I wasn't expecting it to this degree. I think this is fine not being a spoiler. Fairly early on, you unlock like a dash. And that dash is once you get to that, basically the entire way you interact around that world is all kind of centered around that dash. And you kind of had like a short dash that you could get in Hollow Knight, but you spend a lot of time like running in this game. So everything is immediately quicker. And that's just like kind of one small example of how it feels different. Everything really seems bigger and better here. Like the perk upgrade systems is a lot more in depth. There's a lot more nuance to how you can build your character how you want. There's more opportunities for different kinds of shops. There's kind of like a side quest system that was not in the original, and so you can go to like billboards and find different side quests that people have posted for, or just like run across bugs in the environment, and they track this by making promises. So all of your quests are promises that you've made to fulfill to other bugs.
I like that.
Yeah, and when I first seen that, I was kind of like, ooh, it just felt like very unfamiliar and weird, but like it doesn't take long at all for it to feel like it really fits here. The world is fucking huge. I don't know how huge. There's definitely a significant portion of the map that I haven't unlocked, but what I have unlocked is already significantly more sizable than what was in the original game. And I think a lot of these things, especially the world being so big, and maybe even to a degree the like nuance to the character builds, because I really did like the charm system where you have your slots, you can open up more slots, and you can pick your charms to kind of like, add whatever you want to your move set or whatever perks or whatever. I would have been a little bit apprehensive about all of these differences, but I really think all of this stuff works great. It feels like it fits, and it's seamless, so that's cool.
Okay.
Hornet as a character, I really like. They've done a good job with that. When you played the first game, the knight was kind of like a blank slate. But Hornet, has character in that game, and Hornet has character in this game. And I think given the way Hornet was presented in the first game, that it would have been pretty easy for them to be like, well, we're going to try and make her like this, like, rebel badass. But she has some heart in this game, and it makes her more identifiable than what I think it would have, they could have mistakenly done by trying to just, make her a little bit intense, again, given kind of the context of when you met her in the first game. So yeah, a lot about this game.
That's interesting. So I didn't know. So like this person that you play as is in Hollow Knight?
Yes. Yep. So you run into Hornet like multiple times. And she's kind of like a mysterious character in the first game. She's kind of adversary, but and she has like dialogue in the first game. But you can tell that she's not necessarily like ill-intentioned. But I think, yeah, given that framing that she came off as more kind of like abrasive or, trying to be a badass in the first game. And I'm glad they kind of like flipped that to a degree here.
Like a Proto Man type of situation, like I don't know why I said that to you. I know you don't play Mega Man, but like,
I was remaining silent so Kevin can be good to Silksong, but yes, she's very Proto Man-esque.
Okay,
Steve, back out.
You're doing the show with us, right? Like you can help me. You can help me grill Kevin. Maybe
No. Kevin deserves his time in the sun being nice to Silksong without me going. The game is ass. Actually,
yeah, we already know. We've already established that.
You know what? I'll ask a question. Andre didn't ask up front. What are you playing this on, Kevin? Because I know
I'm playing this on Switch too.
This was a point of contention with your son, as I recall.
Yeah, well, they recently changed the way, so they added the like digital game card systems to Switch or whatever. And for a while, I left mine still on just like the online DRM thing, and then Matthew's was set up with the digital game cards or virtual game cards. And so for a period of time, we could still play like at the same time games that we had bought one digital copy of, but that's apparently they didn't make a big deal of this, but that's changed. All of a sudden there was an update and we can't do that anymore. And he's been like he's been waiting for this game, for years. He wanted this much more than I did. I guess I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And so he wanted to play immediately, and I was like, well, I could play this on Game Pass, but I think because I really want to focus on this. So this is one of the things where I don't think there's a downgrade to playing this on Switch 2, and being able to go and just like lay in bed and play this is a massive benefit. So
you should have just
worked out for 2 copies.
Okay, good. I figured you did. You should have just went completely rogue and like played it on Steam or something. Just something that doesn't even make sense for you. I'm going to be really different this time.
And then just do like Steam streaming into the bedroom and try and play it like that with a slight amount of input lag.
Just plop your laptop right in bed there.
It's so hard, you guys.
Well, let's get into that. And I think Steve, when you played Hollow Knight, I know you had a number of things you weren't crazy about, but I think like just the frustrating bosses and difficulty was one of your biggest critiques, was it not?
Yes.
and I I think I got like I one.
We're letting Kevin be nice to Silksong.
Oh my God. Like, whatever. Go on, Kevin.
Well, I mean, I got a little bit bristly when these guys weren't crazy about that game, because when I brought this game to our little book club thing we were doing, I really thought
Kevin's
both of you.
a Canadian psychic who can apparently see tells that I cannot. Okay, there, continue.
I really thought you guys were going to like it a lot, and then it was hard for me to accept when you didn't. This is a different case. Difficulty wise, obviously this has been a fucking conversation since this game has come out, all kind of centered around difficulty. I don't know, after playing this for 2 weeks, exactly where I even land on it yet. And admittedly, the original Hollow Knight was a very tough game. Some points could be extremely frustrating. This one is clearly, hands down, significantly harder. And I don't think that's really an opinion thing. 100%. It is difficult enough where there are points when I genuinely wonder, like, am I going to be able to finish this game? I think that it is not 100% out of the question that I get to a point when I get so stuck and just like try something so often that eventually I just like kind of organically never go back to it. And that kind of that freaks me out a little bit. And I was thinking specifically about quitting a game because it's hard. And I don't think I've ever quit a game just because it was too hard. However, I've definitely quit a game that I didn't like because it was too hard. I can't think of something that I've said like, you know, I am super, super into this. But it's just too much. I tried playing Elden Ring a couple years ago, and there were a lot of redeeming things that I really liked about that. But overall, I wound up not liking that game because it was too hard, just in a different way where you know, hard and maybe kind of like, especially that like get to the boss, try the boss over and over again. Maybe just by virtue of this being a 2D game, I feel like I can do this. I feel like I you know, if I really set my mind to it, I can do it, but there's a chance that I can't.
I think I know what you mean. Like with all the soul stuff, I think the problem with that stuff for me is not the difficulty, it's that I find the combat so boring that when they really try to challenge me, I'm like, I'm not really engaged with this anyway. I'm just trying to play to see what's coming next. I'm not really that into this. So like, if you're really gonna push me, I don't really want to play then. You know, because I didn't really find it that fun to begin with. Whereas like something like Cuphead, right? While Cuphead does go too far sometimes, in my opinion, I think most of the game does not. And when it is really tough, it's like, that is a tough, fun challenge. I can't wait to figure out how to beat this. Whereas like, so because I'm into it, or like a character action game where you're playing on hard, like a Bayonetta, you know, climax mode or something, or, you know, whatever, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this really tough mode because I really think the combat of this game is crazy good. So that's also my thing with Hollow Knight originally, is that I just wasn't into the combat. So when they tried to push me, I'm like, not really feeling motivated to try much harder.
Andre, I'm going to need you to come down the street and try Tales of Iron finally. Just saying.
I mean, my graphics on PlayStation 5 copy is sitting right there. I mean, maybe I feel like I can do that. And then I'll be playing that. But yeah, that's basically, so I think we're saying the same thing, Kevin. I think it's a combination of like, you find it fun, so you want to keep going, versus like, oh no.
Yep. Well, and I mean, I think just the way it works, right? You say you weren't into the combat when you tried playing Hollow Knight, and that's fine. I think in both of these games, to me, whether you enjoy that combat or not, the controls and the movement are so tight and refined that I think it can support that level of difficulty. They're like, it has the nuance to be able to make like incredibly tight and frustrating like windows of things where you really, really have to learn those patterns, and it's there, but it is doable because the controls are so well done. The Souls games are a weird comparison, when that, you know, everything feels so like slow and heavy, and it's just a totally different ball of wax trying to like learn the like tells of bosses and stuff. where in a game like this, and actually Cuphead is a good comparison as well. It's I think just something about being in 2D itself makes that simpler, and a little bit just like more manageable to my brain.
Do you really think so? Do you really think it's a term of like gameplay perspective, 2D or 3D?
I mean, I don't, I when I think about like a really hard 2D game, I feel like I have the ability to like see those tells and, get to the point where I can like foresee what's coming. And a lot of times especially thinking about like Elden Ring, it just seemed like so much of that was up to luck because there's the like, maybe the like choreography of the movement. There's so much like more variability to it. So being able to like tell what's coming isn't just not as simple, I think.
Okay.
Regardless, I do think difficulty wise, this game absolutely deserves more criticism than the first. And I don't really think this is a game that can be enjoyed even somewhat casually. You have to want to like really want to do this game. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. But one thing, and definitely this scenario in specific has been a point of contention. The boss at the end of Act 1. So I want to back up to the first game for a moment. There was the like end of the game boss, and then there was the true ending boss. And that true ending boss was fucking hard. I have a hard time thinking of a boss in a game that I've beat that's as tough as that. I will say that the Act 1 boss in Silksong is maybe not that hard, but it's not too far off. And I think that it's harder than anything else. I had more trouble with this Act 1 boss than anything else other than the like true ending boss in Hollow Knight. So that probably, if you're like a little bit nervous about difficulty in this game, that should probably cause hesitation as is. But here's the thing, the fucking distance between the nearest checkpoint, which like the benches in this game, and redoing that boss, it's maybe not like that long, but it's fucking hard in itself. Now, to be fair, like by the time I finally beat this boss, I could do it no problem. But the first number of runs to go and like even try to like start understanding the tells of this boss, I bet you like for the first little bit, it was almost half the time I would die before I would even get to the fucking boss. When I wouldn't die, I've obviously got like a sizable chunk of my health missing before I can even get to this boss and start like even, I can't even play long enough to start like trying to figure out what the tells are. Man, I just like, so I don't think it can be classified as cheap or unfair. Again, the controls and the way this game works, I think can support that, but it just felt like it kind of fucking sucks. I was not having fun doing that boss. I wasn't having fun getting to the boss, and it was like, so, I wasn't even like mad when I would lose. It was just so like, fuck, man. Even more strangely, when I finally beat the fucking boss, I didn't get that moment where I was like, yes, fucking pumping your fist, like so glad I finally, climbed that mountain. I was just kind of like solemnly thankful I didn't have to fucking try and get to that boss over and over and over again because it just wasn't fun. Mm-hmm. And I think that run back is the problem. If that boss was just that hard, I like that cycle of gameplay when it's hard and I'm just like kind of doing it over and over and like try again, figure it out, get a little bit better. But so much of my time was wasted like just getting there that I don't think that's good game design.
It's tough, right? Because like, Steve, think of any given, like, again, Mega Man. This time I'm directing it at you, where it's like you have 3 lives, right, in a fortress stage, and the fortress boss is hard, and getting there on those 3 lives to the boss is like part of the challenge. But then you get there and you have no lives left, so it's like, okay, what do I do? Oh, I didn't really figure it out. So then you have to game over and then do the stage again, like the whole stage, where it's like, I don't think that's a big deal because, again, part of the challenge is not just the boss. It's doing the whole stage in one piece and getting there and then beating him. Whereas it sounds like here with Silksong, that's not really the case.
I just find it interesting Kevin's making the same complaints I did about Hollow Knight. And
We're
supposed to feel bad.
Wow.
This was like I can when we talk about the original Hollow Knight, I can think of a few bosses. I played the bulk of that not that long ago. There are definitely some bosses that when you die, it takes a while to get back to them. It's just not like, it's definitely not as bad as this one here. It's not as fucking like stupidly hard where you just have to learn this like exact route, and I gotta fucking bounce off this wall here, and I gotta like float to like this point and then drop down and then dash. Like there's such a like, you have to like learn exactly how to get through that, and it's just, I don't know. It's
Just
I
feels
feel
mean spirited today to me.
yeah, I feel like I just think this problem was a lot more defensible in the original Hollow Knight than it is here.
Well, because the map is smaller too, right? I think that like makes a difference. You're not traversing as much space.
Well, I think just like, I mean, it was still a big fucking map in Hollow Knight, but they were more generous in most cases with where they were putting the bench in comparison to where the bosses are, especially like depending on the level of difficulty of the boss and the level of difficulty of the environment. And here,
Okay.
because this just seems like that, this is, I don't even know how many acts are in this. It just feels like a little bit too fucking gnarly too early. And here's another problem that it adds to that. I talked about this game having a more robust character build section, and it does. And it's not just the bosses. Like, a lot of this game is fucking tough. So it's hard to want to experiment with that, because every time you're in a new area, it just feels dangerous. And when you're traversing these areas you don't know that well, it just seems like such a better idea to just like stick with what you know. And so I've like tried very briefly some of these other, like, it kind of will give you like an entirely different way of using your weapon, I guess. And I'll try it like very briefly, and then I'm just like, no, I've been playing for hours and hours with like the way you start out. I'm just gonna stick with that, and that kind of sucks because I would like to spend more time fucking with those other ways, but I just feel like it could be so detrimental and frustrating that I don't like dig into it too much.
Maybe that's part of what they want you to do, though. Maybe they want you to use that other stuff to like get past
I've
this other
definitely
stuff.
thought about that, but like, so I was thinking about that with the Act 1 boss, because I've got like multiple other like builds that I could do at that point. And I thought about trying it, but then I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to like, not only the boss is going to handle like completely differently, I'm going to have to like figure out and learn again how to even get to that boss by the time I'm like thinking maybe I should be fucking with this. And it just like seems like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I don't know. Like,
Okay.
you are right. That definitely could be a thing, but it is just like, that game design concept and then the way the game is designed are in conflict with each other, I think.
Kevin, I have a quick question. Does Hornet know how to tell where she is on the map without using a skill point?
You do not, and I've got that in my notes. They still make you use a fucking equipment slot to see where you are on the map, and that sucks. Because again, I think that's where they want to make that like a risk reward thing, right? Where if you want to put in the work to like, navigate around the map and just like learn it, so you kind of know where you are without that, then you get more equipment slots open. But that concept does fall flat. That's just a quality of life thing. That is not a gameplay thing to me.
That is one thing, and we can go back. I don't remember how I felt about this when me and Steve talked about Hollow Knight. That is something that I don't think I mind, because I'm always one for like, maybe we shouldn't always know where we are. I think it's often, my philosophy is I think we should get lost more often. They don't let us get lost enough. I understand Hollow Knight is a bit different. They really want you to like learn this stuff or spend a skill point on it. I don't think that necessarily has to be a bad thing. In some games it could be, right? But I don't think it, like, on the surface, that is bad.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that I'm going to be like, already I'm, having issues like just traversing this world often enough where like adding that on top of it, I guess it always to me, having that fucking like icon on the map is always worth it to me. I've not turned it off since I got it the entire game. And so as a result, I'm experimenting with the other shit less, which I guarantee that's not what they want. They you know, they're giving you all of these different like mechanics and modifiers, and they want you to fuck with it and they want you to have fun with it. And like with these restrictions, I'm using that stuff less. It's kind of the same as the like difficulty and then the like different character builds. Okay. So and I want to be using that stuff more, especially because I have so much respect for this game. You know, I'm really enjoying the game and I want to be like, oh yeah, I like spent some time and I know what these different builds feel like and I know what this equipment does. And, you know, maybe I find things that are like really interesting and useful, but I'm just not giving myself the opportunity because I feel so like rigidly locked in. And that's probably kind of a problem. I think a lot of people will find the same thing.
I would think so. I think it's not great if you have freedom of choice at something where you don't actually feel like you have freedom. I never think that's like good. But I can't assess whether this is like your own self-imposed freedom or not freedom, rather, you know, because like I don't know, right? So
I don't know either. So I guess again, like I said, when you guys played this or played Hollow Knight and you didn't like it, I was like, man, I fucking hate that you don't like that, because I thought it was going to hit. I think this entry is a lot harder to like wholeheartedly recommend. And like I said, if you have to fucking want this. I would never, when Steve didn't like Hollow Knight, I'd never be like, well, I'll just try Silksong. Like I would say you didn't like Hollow Knight, definitely Silksong is not for you. At the same time, I haven't made up my mind yet if I like this or the original better. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make that decision until I'm done with this and find it, because there might be a whole other fucking set of criticisms I have as I keep playing. In a lot of ways, this one does stand well above Hollow Knight, but it's hard for me to like suss out, like how much of that benefit is worth like a lot of the frustrations that I'm having because it's so fucking hard. I wish. And I don't like criticize Team Cherry for making this game too hard. Personally, I wish this game was not as hard. I would enjoy it more if it was a bit harder than Hollow Knight, but not as hard as I'm finding it.
Fine time.
I didn't want to be left out of the Bugs Going on Adventures party, so I thought I'd reach into my pile, trademark, do not steal.
Can I guess? It's A Bug's Life for PS1.
Ooh, no, sorry. And if anything,
so
I would...
close.
No, I got Bug Fables, the Everlasting Sapling for Switch. Because, it's an adventure about bugs. Yay. It's a Paper Mario-like from when people were missing games from the first two. Remember when we were doing Sticker Star and Color Splash and even Origami King, which was good, but still not. And people were like, I missed 1,000-Year Door. And these guys are like, we could do that without Mario. And then they did.
Can I be potentially rude? I don't know what you think about this game, because I haven't looked at your notes, but that seems like a terrible motivation to make a video game. I'm just going to say it. Like, that does not sound like... Oh, am I right?
I agree.
Attempts were made, Andre.
Okay.
You're a 3-bug band here. You're a beetle, a bee, and a moth outside of his own time. And you're looking for the titular Everlasting Sapling across 7 chapters of goofy RPGing with action commands. I mean, how could you hate that?
Sounds okay.
Okay,
maybe not.
I mean, I thought I was going to come in here and tell you all about how charming the world is, and I really wanted to do that today, but no. Let's just make this a complaining fest instead, because navigating around the world is rough, because... Yeah, we're doing the Paper Mario thing where your trio eventually picks up everything you might expect from those games to get around, like going through trees and bushes and gliding short distances and creating small passages and whatever else. But oh man, is it finicky? You have your bee can use a boomerang, get it instead of a boomerang because she's a bug. You get it?
Okay, so funny.
Yeah, I know. And you throw that with B, and you hold down with B, and to hold it down in place. Great. And we're programmed to learn that throughout the entire game. Great. And now we learn how to glide short distances. How do we do that? We put the B up front, and then we hold down B some more, and then she glides. Great. We were holding down B this whole time to make the boomerang hang in place. So now we have to, it's just pain in the ass shit like that where I have to like hold down buttons for different lengths of times instead of, I don't know, assigning different buttons to commands. It's a pain in the ass, you guys.
Sounds like a Game Boy Advance ass thing to do when you have like 4 buttons versus like the 1,400 buttons we have nowadays. And you know me, I'm usually one who complains like, button economy is like like AAA games are really bad at it, but like, this doesn't sound like it's it either.
This isn't it, and this isn't the worst thing about it because these battles get tedious as fuck. Because much like the Paper Marios we're clearly taking a lot of inspiration from, it uses them tiny numbers so you get involved, so the improvements feel more improvementy, and your items feel real important, especially with those limited slots. The problem is that your characters don't really improve unless you go out of your way to do stuff, because even Paper Mario, like Mario got better hammers and better shoes, and you can find stuff for your friends too. So, and they all got better abilities. So by the end of the game, you were cleaning house. Here, not so much. Like they got more techniques along the way, kind of, but enemy HP just keeps getting spongier while all of the stuff you do hangs around the same numbers, which means if you're me, you're jamming all of your level up perks into technique and badge points. So, and carrying all the honeys you can, so you can keep doing all the area of effect things. So these battles end as fast as they fucking can.
Don't please tell me you're just like making it up. They aren't actually badge points, are they?
I think they call them medal points here.
Okay. I was going to say, did they really get that blatant with it? Surprised Nintendo didn't sue them.
Yeah, I think here they're medals, but... And yes, I know I'm going to use my mind meld with Andre. Yes, this is much worse than you remember the Paper Marios being.
Okay. You're right. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Because this sounds like my experience at Thousand Year Door.
Do they try and do the humor too? Like, are they trying to like rip off the Paper Mario humor?
It's mostly bug puns. Like the runaway command is called flee, and there's a picture of a flea there. You get it, Kevin? You fucking get it?
Comedy gold.
Anyway, all this battle shit comes to a head at the last boss, the false king termite or whatever shit it is. I can't fucking be bothered. I found a way to get through the first phase with all my shit. And then I even set up a loadout, like, after getting killed, because they're kind enough to do that. Like, hey, you want to change your medals? And now that you're dead, I'm like, okay, fine. I set up this loadout that should let me cheese this second phase in a few turns. But no, once he hits 10 HP, it will stall there. Like, you keep smacking him, and you can see that he's still got 10 HP. And then he gives himself a 75% heal. No, you're going to do this tedious multi-phase within the phase fight. And I'm just sitting there, you know the fuck what, guys? Mr. Bug Fable people. Not me, because if I gotta go the fuck back out into the Bug Fable lands and find more Uber item quest things, then these optional quests aren't really so optional, then are they? So I'm like, I cut my losses. I really wanted to come around like, oh, this is cute. They built this town out of a bunch of paper cups or whatever, and they got a little network underground that lets you fast travel to places you've already been already. But I'm like, yeah, fucked it up.
Does it look good? Like audio visually? Does it sound good?
It's cute. It runs well enough, but mechanic, but you know, the numbers and things just don't play nice with you.
Yeah, that's. You think of like any indie. I assume this is an indie game.
This is an indie title.
You would think, well, because who else would make this? You would think that all of them would get like at least the numbers right, because that's the thing that we nailed 40 years ago with Dragon Quest, right? We got the numbers right. So if anything else, we should like be able to have that balance, and then you could play with it from there. But I guess they did not care about you, the player.
Yeah, and I just can't be forced to care about Dragon Quest, Bug Fables. It's just I'm finding that more these days, where I have to be a bit more okay with saying no. I have a lot of games to play.
How long did it take?
Switch had me logged at 20 hours to get to the end.
Okay, that's not terrible.
To Andre's point, I almost feel like it should have been the inverse. Like, obviously, there's, some quality issues here. This seems like a game where they should have made it, maybe a little bit over easy with spongy enemies and everything, so you can, like, kind of, like, get through it and play it. Weird decision to make it, especially spongy for something like this.
There's a weird decision at the beginning of the game where the Adventurer Guild guy hands you a hard mode medal at the beginning. You could just slap it on yourself to turn on and off hard mode. Like, why would you want that? It makes things even spongier and kills you even faster. And no. And what's your perk for that? Well, bosses you beat with that, the guy will give you medals that you can just fucking buy anyway. I did one chapter with that shit on. I'm like, oh, no thanks. We won't be doing any more of that.
Yeah, that sounds... thank you for playing this for me so I didn't have to play it myself. Not that I ever would have went for a Paper Mario-like from an indie studio. I mean, that sounds like a recipe for pissing me off.
I think I'm more annoyed that they almost made it. They were almost there. But now that the Mario RPGs are back, as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason to even consider this.
Okay. I wouldn't have considered it anyway, but I'm definitely not considering it now. All right, well, what do you think, guys? Should we take a break and then talk about this Nintendo Direct?
Should we take a break or should we take a shower?
Ooh, what do you think, Steve?
Isn't it a little soon for that?
Let's get in.
It's time to hit the showers. We'll be right back on Fine Time.
All right. Feels great. Okay, Steve, have I improved on my towel snapping skills? Do you approve yet or no?
You get a little better each time.
Thank you. I think, Kevin.
I'm bleeding. Why are we downplaying this?
Sorry, I went a little too tough on you, but I think on Steve, Goldilocks zone, right? Just right.
Man,
come on. He won't give us anything. He won't give us a goddamn thing.
Make him bleed next time.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about something Steve and I like a lot more is eating food on the air. Yep, we're going to do another taste test. This time of Reese's Oreos. There's been a thing recently where the two companies have crossed over. There are Reese's Oreos, and there are also Oreo Reese's, which is an Oreo sandwich with a Reese's filling. We're doing the Reese's Oreos, the Reese's peanut butter cup likes that are Oreo-ish. I hope that wasn't too confusing because the two products are kind of weird and they look similar. But Reese's Oreos is what we have today.
I can't wait for this shit.
Really? So you think this is going to be good?
I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm assuming it's white chocolate glaze on top of here, but I want to believe we're going to get something good here.
Well, when I posted this on social media saying we were going to do this, someone said they look like they were cum covered. So do with that what information what you will.
White It says white cream and the very tiny.
It's probably supposed to taste like the inside of the Oreo.
I mean,
Yeah, but
probably, but I mean,
that never translates 100%.
I mean, this is a track. You know, I do like the green. I do like the orange and blue package, the split. I do think that's like kind of attractive. The Oreo blue and the Reese's orange.
It's got kind of a Splatoon vibe going there.
Yeah.
I mean, what other colors would you have used for this project?
Apparently Splatoon 2 Halloween. Remember that shit? They looked like the McDonald's pale colors, like the orange and the purple. The Halloween ink. Remember that? Yeah, I like that. They still have those for the kids, by the way? They still have
came back a few years ago, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad. The Roanoke. Okay, well, holding it in my hand, shall we open up?
Let's open up.
Fucking dick.
Oh, this is a white top.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I see a side profile? I feel so fucking left out right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is advertised. They're definitely doesn't, I mean, it smells like Reese's. I'm not getting any Oreo right now.
Well, yeah, that's because they're on the inside. If you look at the packaging, there's Oreo crumbles on the inside.
Right, but I'm not even getting a hint. Okay, you ready?
I am if you are.
Let's take a bite. You know, I gotta be real. I'm not getting much Oreo.
There's a bunch of Oreo in mine.
Well, I mean, I have it. I'm just not really like. I don't taste Oreo. It just tastes like white chocolate Reese's to me.
Can I? I was going to ask for the inside bite profile too.
Well,
I wonder if you guys if one had more Oreos than the other.
That is true.
there's 4 in this
Maybe
package.
they're giving the East Coast all the Oreo-y ones.
Oh, look, Kevin. Okay, I broke open another for Kevin. This one doesn't have any.
Oh, what the
I don't
shit?
see any.
Try breaking it again. Maybe they all got dumped on one side when they were filling it.
Maybe. Okay, I see like one piece of Oreo if I broke it in the fourths.
Oh, yeah, not very much.
Maybe I'm just not getting much Oreo here.
Let's see yours, Steve. What's going on?
This one
in
has
there?
significantly less.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one's got way more than Andre's, I think,
Yeah,
already.
that's way more than mine. That's for sure.
So it doesn't seem like there was a real, like, standardized amount of Oreos. They just had some fucking random guy going and sprinkling Oreo in willy-nilly into the cups before they got peanut buttered.
You know what I think the real winner is going to be when we get to the Oreo Reese's? Because as much of a not fan as I am of the novelty Oreos, I think the next best thing you could stick in those cookies is Reese's peanut butter.
You don't even like golden Oreos? Those are so good.
No, I like that weird ass chocolate cookie.
I think the golden Oreos are so good. Kevin, have you had those? Like,
I have, and they're good. I think the Selena Gomez ones were my favorite, like, novelty Oreos. I found a pack of, they were on clearance for like fucking $2 at Walmart a few weeks ago, and I bought another pack of them.
they're good. They were really good.
Oh
Yeah.
my
they
God,
really
we
good.
are swimming in those out here.
I wish I could find. I don't see them anymore. I
We're
guess all of a sudden,
drowning in them.
I guess
Maybe
Nevada
you should go get
swallowed
like
up.
a pallet, and those might go on eBay for like, $500 in a decade.
Selena Gomez herself. I still like her fanfic of her like formulating the Oreo. Yeah, let me take a bite of this with the more Oreo in it. I don't know, man. All I taste is peanut butter and white chocolate. I'm not getting any Oreo here.
Does it taste like white chocolate, or does it like somewhat resemble the cream of the inside of an Oreo?
No, it doesn't taste like that at all. It doesn't to me, Steve. It doesn't taste like Oreo cream at all.
Yeah, for me, that's the downside too. I'm not the biggest white chocolate fan, and this definitely isn't Oreo cream. This is white chocolate to me.
Yeah, this is kind of. like, it's not bad. It's obviously like a Reese's peanut butter cup with some crunchy bits, which is nice for texture, which is one of my problems with like Reese's peanut butter cups. Cause like I like Reese's Pieces a lot. I'm not a big fan of the cups. So like they're fine. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like something I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta have a Reese's peanut butter cup. If someone gives me some, I'm overjoyed. I'll eat them, right? But I'm not gonna buy them myself. Same time, this isn't a whole lot different. Like, I would rather get these than a regular Reese's peanut butter cup, but I'm not like blown away here.
I would have liked. I like the Reese's cups, and I probably would have liked this better if this was all milk chocolate and not this pretend Oreo cream on top.
Yeah, it's definitely just white chocolate. It is not Oreo cream tasting or smelling or anything.
I'm not offended by it. I mean, I've got 2 packages of these, and I'm going to happily eat the other one. But
Oh yeah, I'll definitely eat these for sure.
but I'm more eagerly anticipating those Oreos.
Yeah, I have
Go
yet to
find
see-
them, Andre.
I'm trying. I looked when I was at the store. I barely found these.
I'm like jonesing for them now. I have a taste.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Don't eat me. Well, this was fine. This was not very Oreo forward. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I didn't get enough Oreo. Maybe the peanut butter just takes over for me or the white chocolate. But yeah, this is just a crunchy Reese's peanut butter cup. It's not very Oreo to me.
I'm incredibly glad this was underwhelming. I'm if you guys took bites and you were just like, oh fuck, those are the best Reese's I've ever had, I would have been like fucking so butthurt.
Yeah, like if somehow you missed out on the Selena Gomez ones and we were going off about them, you'd be like mad jelly. Yeah. So be like, no, Kevin, you got to get these. Yeah, these are fine.
Yeah, like I just said, I'm going to finish the ones I have here and in the fridge, but after that, I don't think I'll buy it anymore.
All right, time for the main event. Nintendo Direct time. You guys know how this works, but if you don't, let's say you've never listened to the show before, the way we cover these kind of events is we talk about the things that were interesting to us in roughly the order that they appeared in the presentation. If we skip over it, that means we just don't really have anything to say about it. So, we're not going to cover every single little thing because who would do a thing like that, right? But we're just gonna take the ones that we feel like saying something about. And I guess it starts with Mario's. Hey guys, did you know that Mario's turning 40? The Super Mario brother himself.
Yes, Andre.
We sure fucking know now.
I know, they told us all about it for like 20 minutes. So the leaks were true. Thank you, Old Spice. The next Mario movie is called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. It's coming out April 26th.
Did you guys think that Old Spice thing was legit or not? It looked legit, and so, but I was like, I did not think they would call it the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
It didn't surprise me. I thought it was legit, Steve.
We're at a point where the merchandise shows up early enough to ruin things. Remember the first movie where they had to delay it, but it was too late for McDonald's to delay their toy run, and we got to see all kinds of stuff from that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had to have the toys in the thing. Yeah, which I don't know. I think that's like, in a way, weirdly good promotion. Hey, check out this movie. Check out these toys for a movie you can't see for 6 months. It builds some sort of anticipation. But yeah, so Super Mario Galaxy movie, all the cast is back. Do we know anything about? Certainly, Rosalina is going to be in it, right? Or
you'd have to have her if we were calling it the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but there's nothing about Rosalina casting or even Yoshi casting. And, he was at the post-credits scene of the first movie. Surely he's going to be here and voiced by somebody annoying, right? Right?
It's not just gonna be Kazumi Totaka like usual going Yoshi. Like it's not gonna be him.
It's gonna be Samuel L. Jackson going Yoshi.
I would go to opening, like the very first showing I could get on Thursday night if that were the case. That would be the best movie of all time. So in conjunction with this, they show something for Switch. A new compilation, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And they're also making a real-life Rosalina's sad ass storybook or whatever it's called. I hope that's what it's officially called. Rosalina's sad ass story. They're actually making a physical real book of that. Steve, I saw that it's 112 pages on the listing. 112 pages?
I didn't see that.
Yo, like after 20 pages, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, dog. Like 112? What are they gonna do? Yoshiaki Koizumi came on to talk about this part and show off the real life book, and also say they're adding new pages to the version in the game of her book. So it's like, okay, I guess I have to go through that again. But guys, this is really bizarre. We finally get Galaxy 2. The game that should have been in Super Mario 3D All-Stars to begin with. We're all like, where is Galaxy 2? Well, here it is, and it's in this newly packaged form that's essentially serving as like a movie promotion. I don't get it. Can somebody, Steve, can you explain this behavior to me of Nintendo's? I'm not sure.
I don't know. The timing of all of this is just really weird because we got half of this set 5 years ago, like you just said. There's amiibo coming out that are coming right before the movie is, or right when the movie. No, yeah, it's a few weeks before the movie, and one of them is key art of Mario. On the the one on the case where Mario's flying, and the other one is Rosalina about to read a real sad story to the to the Lumas. We can finally get that in amiibo form, and I'm gonna have to buy that, aren't I? And. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just more excited about those and the storybook than I am about this set of games based on the timing. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, Kevin, this is weird. It's almost like they don't acknowledge 3D All-Stars existing. I get it. It was a limited thing that is now delisted, but we all played it. We synced it with our own eyes during the Rona. It happened. I don't know why they don't.
It's super weird. 100%. And I think it's cool that Galaxy 2 is coming. 3D All-Stars is where I learned to appreciate Mario Galaxy. But I think it also seems too like, because of that, limited time release of 3D All-Stars, bringing these both out in this format, it kind of feels to me more like a push for marketing for the movie than it feels like they decided this is something that we should like put out into the world. I don't know.
This totally is a movie promotion thing. I'll get Galaxy 2 just because they're available separately. Well, I guess we should talk about that. They're available separately, or going to be on the eShop for $40 each. Is that the right price? I mean, it feels a little steep, Kevin. I mean, look, am I going to go on there and pay $40 for Galaxy 2? Yes. Am I going to feel great about it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm in the same place. That feels steep to me, and I'm ready to play Galaxy 2. This is how I want to play it. I want to play it on Switch. I don't want to go play it in shitty resolution on Wii with the waggle controls. And I probably will get this day one, like just Galaxy 2 standalone. Unless I'm really into something at the time. But we've kind of talked about the pricing before. I just am gradually getting like a little bit more fatigued with Nintendo and everybody's pricing in general. And I'm just kind of like picking up less of these kinds of things, that I'm interested in, but aren't absolute like day one must-haves as a result of it.
I don't know. There was a lot of other games coming out just this year that I'm more interested in than this. They said they got this running in 4K on Switch 2. There's more storybook pages to find, and there's amiibo support. Yes, that makes it technically different than the 2020 release, but I don't know. I feel like I could take a gamble waiting to see if Woot gets the double pack cheaper.
You would get Galaxy 1 again for, I mean,
why not?
I don't know, man. It's weird how they do it and all. What are they going to do next? Are they going to have like the Mario 64 and Sunshine package? Here you go, guys. Like, I mean, what do you,
Well, we already know that Sunshine's coming to GameCube. We saw it on and these are coming to line.
That is true. But that'll be in 4x3. You can't play it in 16:9. Like you can. I don't know why I said it that way. I don't know why I said it so sassy. 16:9.
Sassy or sexy.
You son of a bitch. You want to see these tits in 16 by 9, baby?
Uh-huh. I think we lost the
He's just looking
conversation
at
for a
us,
second
wondering
there.
why we're not like so aroused.
I
right
mean,
now.
yeah. I mean, like, I'm waiting for a confirmation, and you know what? Never mind. Okay, fine. Let's let's talk about something else they showed. I think right after this, Mario Tennis Fever. Yes, we have a Mario Tennis game for Switch 2. This is it. Mario Tennis Fever, made by Camelot. Probably music by Moitoi Sakuraba, like usual. All the usual suspects are here, most likely.
Yeah, I'm the noted Mario Tennis Aces liker, so I'm hoping this is good. Just be good.
I was really I knew this was going to be Camelot, but I was still like, oh, please don't show Camelot's name because I just want them to be working on Golden Sun something.
There's
I
no
know,
one there.
I know. I'm just a fucking. I'm a hopeless dipshit. I know. I'm glad they did the adventure mode. I think that looks cool, but I think it's still like maybe a little bland looking. Baby Waluigi fucking freaks me out. I don't know if I like that.
All the babies looked weird, didn't they? All the
Yeah.
babies looked weird, I think.
I don't know. Baby Waluigi's the only new one. None of these other ones are new. I don't know why we're freaked out by babies. And
The way they look in this particular game, the way they're modeled is weird. Even the standbys like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
if you say so.
Thanks. Excellent podcasting we're doing right
Look,
now.
I'm
Great.
surrounded by weird babies all the time. Maybe I'm just
I don't know,
blind
it's just-
to it.
What?
To
I'm
me,
not
it
even gonna,
was-
I'm not even going to explore that. People can read into that all they want or not.
It was just more Waluigi to me because I just don't feel like Waluigi ever was a baby. I think Waluigi was created in a lab as a man.
Camelot just put them together from spare parts. They Frankensteined them together.
I mean, who was fucking Waluigi's mother?
Yeah. Can you imagine breastfeeding baby Waluigi? I mean, my God. Wouldn't you be like, if you were the mother, wouldn't you be like, is adoption a possibility here? Like, I cannot do this.
Oh, can we please title this episode, Can You Imagine Breastfeeding Baby Waluigi?
I don't think we should ask that question. I don't know. Maybe we should. We'll see. I think I don't know. Like, I thought Mario Tennis Aces was fun, but probably a bit too much. And I don't think I'm the only one who felt that way. Like, I really like the game, but man, they're really piling on the stuff in that game, the mechanics, to make it this really weird one-on-one, almost barely a tennis game at times, which is fine. I'm glad that they did something crazy. I think Mario Tennis Fever is going to get back to basics a bit. Of course, my happy place will always be Power Smash for GameCube. That's always going to be like the ultimate one for me. But I'll take anything. They rarely disappoint. Mario Tennis rarely disappoints unless it's on Wii U. So I'm looking forward to that. But something I'm not looking forward to is Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup at Bella Bell Park. I can't believe I said all those words out loud. I don't know what they mean either. Also, they're making a real life talking flower guy who just like talks to you. I don't know if it's like sensor activated. I couldn't really tell, but like that seems creepy.
You don't want one? I want one.
I don't want that. If that thing starts yapping while we're doing the show, I'm gonna insist you kick it across the room.
I mean, I'll turn it off, but
I'm more interested in talking about this flower friend than the DLC, to be honest. And I don't dislike the flower friend. I just like Nintendo has been pretty upfront lately about wanting to be more of a multimedia company, and I feel like everything is kind of coming to a head. Right? We had Alarmo, and we had the little wooden toys for small children that act as amiibo, and now we've got Galaxy 2 storybook, and this. I don't like even necessarily dislike that they're doing this. And the older I get, I'm just finding it easier to be like, I don't really need that for a lot of this stuff. But I think the scales of how valuable these things are going to be for collectors are going to start tipping, right? Like we had collectors really shoehorned into Amiibo because there was this like completionist thing, but it feels like there's such a wide swath of these kinds of products that they're going to like Nintendo is going to start oversaturating their own collectible market if they like push this kind of thing a little bit too hard.
I don't know if they're gonna do that. I just think that, like, I don't know. I don't think they're anywhere close to that point yet. Every direct they come out with a bunch of like physical items, like every time an alarm, here's a new book, here's a new whatever. Okay, yeah, sure. But like they only do them I think they do the right amount so far. Yes, this direct had a lot of things, but I don't think it's too much yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, especially when they were like, okay, we're doing like a toy for small children that acts as amiibo. Like to me, that was like, well, we know that those guys, like the fucking amiibo 100% completionists, need to go out and buy this, right? Whether they got fucking kids or not. And now it's just kind of like, I think about like when I seen this flower thing, and again, I don't have anything against it in specific. I thought about like Disney movie toys when I was a kid. I remember when Aladdin came out, you could get like the fucking plastic lamp that the little genie would be in there to tell your fortune, like shit like that. Like that's what this kind of feels like. And I don't know, it has been more and more frequent lately. And I wonder if they're going to, to what degree. I don't think any of it's going to fail. But that we're in such a thing where like there are so many people that say any fucking physical thing Nintendo comes out with, I need to have it in the house, and that's gotta like fucking die off in this era to a degree.
I don't know if that was true. All the Nintendo toys that they keep coming out with by other people that they come out with would be, that would have already been a problem, right? Because Disney didn't make all of those toys for all that stuff.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like stuff Nintendo is like, hey, we are making this. It is a special thing. Buy it on the My Nintendo store. And then like Jack Specific stuff that's on the shelf in Walmart. Like people just think about those things differently. And we're seeing so many more things now in the category of Nintendo being like, we are making this special product. Get it on the My Nintendo store. Like I think that's where it feels different.
Yeah, but I don't think that's bad. I think for a long time they've underutilized that store, honestly. And now that they're doing more stuff, like they put a Nintendo store in San Francisco now, they're doing the Nintendo Museum. They have like the Universal Studios, like Super Mario World and stuff. I think they want to get more out there with their products that way. I think that's just a big initiative they have going on. So
I don't think it's bad either. I think it's going to change how like the like Nintendo collector market, which is fairly sizable, treats these kind of products.
Well, I know a product that Kevin is not going to buy, and it is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. That is for damn sure. Am I right? You have no interest in this?
I don't have no interest to this. I definitely didn't like get the bug for it that you guys clearly have. The art style is undeniably fantastic. It looks really fucking cool. And when this comes out in spring next year, depending on what I'm doing, it's not out of the realm of possibility that I pick this up. But I'm not. I seen you guys were like, oh fuck yeah, and I wasn't on that level.
I'm definitely on that level. We have been overdue for this. There hasn't been. When did Yoshi's Crafted World come out, Steve? 2019?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and it's like that. Yeah, it's been, oh, you really should. I love that game. I like Yoshi's Woolly World. I like the Yoshi games we have been on recently. It's been a long time, and we are overdue. It looks more puzzle though, Steve. It looks more like, hey, use this thing on this thing, or hey, use these spores to weaken this rock so you could break it. It didn't really look like a platformer.
Yeah, the conceit that we're supposed to be helping this book fill itself with stuff about Yoshi. Like we're trying to create a Yoshi story in a way.
I see what you did there.
And I don't know. I kind of like the idea of that. Like it's almost like what Yoshi's story should have been a bazillion years ago in a time where that would have been impossible. I don't know. I can't wait for this thing in a way.
I'm ready. Did it look? I couldn't tell. It looked like 2D, right? Like Yoshi didn't look like a 3D model.
Yeah, no. He looked like a illustration on a page.
Yeah, and it didn't look like, Paper Yoshi or some shit like that. It looked like a real deal 2D game, which is interesting.
illustrated on there.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that actually manifests, if it's actually just very clever 3D shading and tricks or whatever. I really couldn't tell from the trailer.
I have a question for you guys. Again, we've established this looks good. Do you think there's any risk that this is going to be just like gameplay quality wise, maybe on the same level as like Princess Peach Showtime?
No, this already looks like more interesting than that, just from the snippets they showed. Because, like, remember for the long time, the joke was like, what the fuck is Princess Peach Showtime? Are they going to tell us? We have no idea what this game is. Like,
Yeah.
it turns out it tried to be everything. Like, literally, Kevin, I don't even know if you remember us talking about this, or even if we did on the air. There's like a whole detective section. It turns into like a fake like Carmen Sandiego game with like her big magnifying glass and everything. It's such a weird game.
So just a little bit more honed in scope will do this a lot of favors to begin with.
Yes, for sure.
I think being on Switch 2 will be doing it a lot of favors to begin with.
Oh, yeah. They did show a smattering of Switch 1 games, one of them called, and I'm going to be careful here, Popucom.
Oh, I won't be careful because I wrote Popucom at first.
Of course you did, because I mean that's what everyone was thinking when we saw it. I mean, of course, like, but I don't even remember. It looked like,
well, it's one of those. Oh my god, what are the kids calling them now? But you have to play with someone else.
Oh,
there's a derogatory name the kids have for this sort of thing now.
Do we have a name for that? They're not just like It Takes Two likes or something?
There's a mean name for them now.
Okay. I don't like streamer bait or something. No, that's like a different category.
It's in that neighborhood.
Okay. It's not as offensive as like, I don't know, like walking simulator, right? It's not something like that.
It's not that bad, no.
Okay. Anyone buying these Kirby Air Riders amiibo besides Steve?
No, I'm waiting for a price drop because those fuckers cost $50 each.
Oh, really?
I understand that they swap out and they do and they read all that shit accordingly, but holy shit, I don't have that kind of money right now.
Oh, okay, well, I think more importantly than that, they're doing another Kirby Air Ride Direct. I didn't even know they had any. What else are they going to show?
Did we not see that fucking rider at the end foreshadowing some more shit coming on the way?
Okay, so we need like 45 minutes of Dark Meta Knight or whatever that is. Like, do we really, like, who cares? It's Kirby Air Riders. I'm there. I like Kirby. I like air riding.
Okay, they're going to pay the man to talk to us some more, okay? That's not so bad.
I'm going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch it. I just don't like...
Yeah.
I don't know, Kevin. Are you ready for... Like, are you interested in this, by the way? Like, I don't know how...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've, like, dicked with the GameCube one a little bit, and I was, like, I don't know. It was fucking fine, I guess. I have a hard time, like, judging if I'm going to want to play this or not. We'll see.
The GameCube game is not very good, but I feel like this will be better. Okay, they finally showed Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment not looking like shit for the first time. It's 60. It looks pretty good. The cutscenes are at a decent resolution now instead of looking like... Because come on, admit it. From the Switch 2 presentation, this game looked like booty. It did. They really cleaned this shit up. So it's looking really good. All right, Steve, we get to take our victory lap, even though, you know, we're not newsbreakers. It's not like we're out there finding the rumors like Jason Schreier. However, a few weeks ago, maybe a few shows ago, we talked about the Dragon Quest VII remake rumors that we heard. Guess what? The rumors were true. At this direct, they showed Dragon Quest VII Reimagined coming out next February. You start wherever you want with this. This is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be hearing about this so soon after we speculated on it or playing it so imminently. It's coming out in February. But the skeet they had advertising this advertised a streamlined story as a selling point. Oh, it needs it.
Oh, yeah. And that was kind of the thing we talked about. Like, and that's why I think we need to give ourselves a bit of a pat on the back, because I said this rumor does not make any sense unless they're going to do something drastically different with the game. They have to like do something on the scale of like Final Fantasy VII Remake or something. Maybe not necessarily that much money in production, but that different of a scenario and story, because between the original and the 3DS game, we already had that twice. The 3DS game tries a little bit, right? But for the most part, that's still Dragon Quest VII and all its quote unquote glory. That thing needs a lot of help. So maybe this can finally be it. Much like I'm hoping Dragon Quest II HD 2D is finally the first good Dragon Quest II. I'm hoping this will be Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, will truly be reimagined.
Yeah, and it's also going to be the only way to legally play Dragon Quest VII, because as I was talking about the Pokepals the other week, it's only one of the first 8 you can't buy on your cell phone telephone right now. Dragon Quest VII.
I'm looking forward to this, obviously. I want to play a Dragon Quest VII I can actually love for the first time. Go with me on this, though, or maybe you won't, but I'm going to run this by you. We had a lot of speculation also about what this might look like, graphically. And I was saying to you, well, you know, it might look HD 2D because that's kind of how Dragon Quest VII looks on PS1 to begin with. That's something they tried to pioneer in a way. It didn't really come off that way because PS1, but like, you understand what I mean. 2D sprites in this sort of 3D-ish environment. I said it should use Dragon Quest XI's engine and like do it that way. It doesn't look like it's quite that production either, but it looks somewhere in the middle. You know what it looks like though? It looks like Square's 3D games on DS, like Final Fantasy IV 3D or something like that, or like 4 Warriors of Light or whatever that game is called. But like those kind of chibi sprites, but like 3D-ified and still kind of squatty and square. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense at all? I feel like that's what they kind of look like, but like in today's spec.
To me, it looks like they upres the 3DS version. Like we're doing HD 3DS.
Does that deserve? I don't have a rim shot on this soundboard.
Because
I know what you're saying about the DS thing. Something about like that art looks slightly off to me though, and I don't know, not bad necessarily, just something looks off. I can't really articulate it. Did you guys? Am I the only one, or thought that looked kind of weird?
It looked. I don't know if it looked weird. It definitely looked a bit different. But do you suppose this is a consequence of now? Somebody, whoever out there, now has to interpret Akira Toriyama's designs versus the man himself who is no longer with us. So do you think it's like the result of whoever working on this and taking those original designs and doing it? Because even for remakes, Toriyama worked on those. You know, you can tell. So I don't know now.
I think this is a good time to bring up. We didn't get this segment, but Japan had a brief but proper segment for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 where they showed off a under the sea kingdom with mermaids and quests and things for the second game.
Ooh.
And that had a thumbnail, which was, if not drawn by him, definitely supervised by Toriyama, in my opinion, or from what I can tell. This might not have been so much.
Yeah. I mean, look, they've been working on this a while. There's no doubt they were working on this while he was alive, right? But who knows what processes of that happen when, right? So it's just, who knows? I mean, I don't think it looks weird, though, Kevin. I wouldn't go as far as to say it looks weird, but it's definitely, it's something. It's different.
Mm-hmm. It is different.
Dragon Quest is going through a period of transitions. And Kevin, I even got some better news for you. It's not Nintendo Today isn't going fucking anywhere. They got a Kirby theme now.
Oh fuck, I'm back in.
That Kirby Air Ride updates all over the place for you, just for you.
Just for me. They knew they needed to pull me back in. Well, there you go.
You're gonna reinstall the app now?
You know what? After you guys degraded me, I've got it installed yet again, and it's still useless 98% of days.
For the 7th time, he's like installed it. Yeah, he's like,
I
I need some more
uninstalled
space.
it once,
I'm
and
gonna
then I put it back. I don't know.
But but then right after that, they're like, as if it was going to be more mundane sounding news. They just came out the gate with Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics. What?
that okay. So I knew right away from the red tint of that like camera.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right. I knew it couldn't be anything else. I'm like, no fucking way in the world. Sure enough.
There's going to be a peripheral required.
Are we sure? Okay, let's go right to it, okay? Why do you need the Virtual Boy contraption they're selling to play the games?
I think it's because they don't want you trying to play these in 2D. And I mean, I kind of get it. Like, you try and play fucking, Mario Tennis in 2D on a TV screen with an emulator. Like, it sucks. It sucks.
How though? Like I've never tried to emulate Virtual Boy. I don't understand
the way those games are designed and looked when you don't have that depth, it's like almost unplayable. It's I mean, I kind of get it. I think it would be worth going and trying to emulate Virtual Boy and see how it looks in 2D. I mean, something like Wario Land is fine. Something like Mario Tennis is not.
Okay, I guess I'll take your word for it. Here's the thing. They have to know that 95% of people are not going to get this peripheral. They have to know that. So they have to be prepared for people to look at this on their Switch or on their TV. They know people are going to do that.
I guarantee, well, if they're planning that far ahead, it's probably not even going to turn on the TV. It's going to be like, please look at your Switch or something on your TV. They probably won't even let you.
Really?
See, I kind of wondered if it's going to be like, there's an NFC reader in there. That's how they do Amiibo. Maybe there's going to be some sort of like NFC chip in that Virtual Boy that will like unlock the functionality of being able to run that app.
I don't know if they'll be that mean about it. I think they just want you to be in an enclosed space. I think if there is no NFC thing for it, I think people will rig up their own solutions fairly quickly.
Who people? Who are people? Because I'm not people.
The more enterprising fans with 3D printers.
So Kevin? I mean, literally like one person?
Do you have any idea? There were all kinds of weird shit back when they were trying to push VR on phones. Like, oh, here's a visor and shit you could shove in a cardboard box to do the VR on your phone. People will find a way.
The Virtual Boy cardboard box they showed next to like the actual contraption made me laugh out loud. That shit was so funny. Here's your basic bitch, poor bitch version right here. Peasants. You fucking peasants. This is all you can afford. Well, you know what? I don't blame anyone for thinking that because the cardboard one is like $25. The actual Virtual Boy accessory is $100 goddamn dollars. Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Man, I'm glad it is. I think, but so much of like the element to this, like, they know that this is like a thing that will spend most of its time sitting on a shelf as a collectible thing. I would rather this be more expensive and a higher quality, cool thing to have than fucking, $40 and janky.
I agree with you, and I don't mind paying for quality. However, I did see that in Wentz. That's a lot of money. They don't even have the Virtual Boy controller. As far as I've seen.
That sucks.
They should have the controller.
See, they should have at least had like a fucking like Joy-Con thing that you could like slide your Joy-Con in that like felt like the Virtual Boy controller. That would have been cool.
Well, we saw Koizumi using it, and he was using like a Joy-Con grip, but it just looked like a regular Joy-Con 2 grip. It didn't look like any special thing. Although, I mean, like, to be real, the Virtual Boy controller is fucked up. Like, why do we have 2D pads? I don't know.
I'm not familiar with the Virtual Boy imports we might be getting, but there's only 3 games where the second D-pad does something else. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know, man. Look, I get it. they raised the prices of all the Switch 2 accessories because tariffs. Like, I get it. We're in a weird time right now. So something like this costing $100 is like, I'm not putting that all in Nintendo saying, oh, because you know how people like to shut on Nintendo for their pricing policies lately. But like, man, that just made me go, oof. I mean, I'm probably still going to get it. It's worth $100 to me, but that's just going to make it even more like, Kevin, and especially since like they're probably going to only sell this on the Nintendo store online. This isn't going to be something you go to the store and buy. That's why I think like so many people who have like a Switch or Switch 2 are not going to use this because they can't. Like, this isn't going to be something you could just go to Target and get.
I don't think the people that aren't shopping on the My Nintendo store really give a fuck that much, honestly. I don't think that they're like, you know,
This is for the expansion pass subscribers. This isn't for everybody.
It's weird to have an entire app for a peripheral. That's all I'm saying. Again, I think it's super cool. I'm glad this library is coming to, and we're going to, yes, folks, we're going to be doing at least 2 shows on these games, at least. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's just that, like,
yeah,
it seems to make it that inaccessible to like most of your paying audience is a strange move. It's strange.
You know what would be strange if they didn't release Bound High and Dragon Hopper on games that I know are finished and they didn't release.
They could. You never know.
They fucking better.
Well, they see, here's the thing. When they showed the 14 games, that seemed like the way they worded it, it felt like those are the only 14 coming. Did you guys get that feeling too? Okay. Because I don't think they would have said the number of games up front.
And it's really weird because they have Virtual Bowling and not Nestor's Funky Bowling, and those are 2 different games.
Those are 2 different games, but I also think like they probably, for Japan's sake, it makes more sense to release their bowling game worldwide versus Nestor Funky's Bowling, for those who don't know, only came out in North America.
Okay, so just call it Lark's Bowling then. I don't know. Come on.
No, they're not putting work into this shit. They're gonna put these ROMs up as is, and that's it. They chose the other bowling game.
You could put up all the ROMs. It's fine. There's only so many games on this thing.
That is true. Well, they didn't pop to relicense Waterworld. I'll tell you that much.
There is no reason to do that. I promise.
Yeah, but this one shot out of the entire direct. This one shocked the hell out of me for sure. As far as like, whoa, Steve, we got our mature rating voice back for Fatal Frame 2. Did you hear that shit? The Crimson Butterfly soars again.
Yeah, and I felt bad too because I still need to play a Fatal Frame game. One day I'll play one.
All right, let's get to the thing that got everyone aflutter and a Twitter on social media. Samus was on a goddamn motorcycle, bitch. She rode in there and she's like, I'm Samus, bitch. And she started Akira sliding these like fucking, I almost said Metroids. They're not Metroids. I mean, she should have, actually. That should be the new way you beat Metroids in this game, not freeze them and then shoot them with missiles. You should Akira slide them with your motorcycle, your cyber motorcycle. Quite frankly, this should just be the whole game, if you ask me.
I don't know about all that, but given how long it's taken for it to come out and given the release date of December 4th, something we called on the Kirby Air Ride show, this has to be a post-game show now for us, right? We just have to have the episode be about this sometime soon, right?
I would like to think so. I'm okay with that. You guys want to like come back from our break in January and not do a big deal where we're not going to, hey, what happened to the Game Awards a month ago? And then I mean, I would love to just sit and talk about Metroid Prime 4 for an hour and then leave.
That's not a bad idea.
We should do that.
Good idea, Audrey. Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm glad I love when we do show prep on the air, honestly. Let the people know.
All right. The motorcycle is obviously fucking interesting, but this looked really open world-ish. Like it really looked that way in some of that footage. What do you guys think is going to happen there? Is this just a few like large environments to dick around with the motorbike in, or are they like going to try and do a semi-open world Metroid game?
Kevin, are you going to force me to be pedantic on the air?
You go ahead.
Because
pedantic it up.
Because aren't all Metroid games kind of open world in a way where you can always explore to a point until you need the thing to open another point?
Nah, this looks way fucking different.
It's
Way
the open
different.
space. It's the space that you can have, because Metroid is corridors and like shafts and stuff like that. This is like, here's a desert and you were on your motorcycle.
That's fine.
Different.
It'll be fine.
You know, I mean, look, I think it'll be fine too. I think it looks cool. I don't think that, I'm obviously joking, I don't think it's going to be the whole game. I just think that like that would be nice to break it up, I think.
Do you think, map-wise, do you think there's going to be like one large map that everything is like somewhat interconnected, where you can just go from like A to B or C or D or E in kind of as the crow flies fashion? Or
So it's like Hyrule Field, like boring ass, like open Hyrule Field, where it's like, here connects all these like interesting, not really that interesting.
I mean,
things.
I almost, I don't know. I wonder, like, you know, if there's going to be more, you know, if there's just like large structures in this like overworld map that you know are kind of treated as like a dungeon type area. I don't know. I just like looking at like the horizon in some of those open world looking areas, it doesn't look like it was overly restricted, or like that was just like, okay, this is the desert and you fucking enter the desert from one end and you leave the desert on the other end and like continue on with the game. I just didn't get that sense.
Kevin, I just don't think it's going to be like what you're saying. I don't think it's going to be this like wide open, because that doesn't, if anything doesn't embody Metroid here, it's traversing like desert for miles and miles. That just doesn't seem like something they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm just was super curious what this is going to wind up looking like after seeing that footage. I mostly agree with you. It just, I don't think that like, I don't think the motorbike is going to be like you do it a couple times as like a special thing. I think if that was the case, they wouldn't have like led this trailer with that. That would have been like a little like footnote at the end, like showing her like get on the motorbike as like a teaser. They wouldn't have been like, hey, the fucking entire focus of this like release date announcement is her on the motorbike.
Because I feel like if it was so central to the game, they would have started you on the damn motorcycle. Right? I don't know. Maybe you literally have to go get the Chozo motorcycle from a statue. then
I feel like if it was so central to the gameplay, the reveal trailer would have been her on a motorcycle.
And the goddamn box art should be like, and
it is not.
If we're making guesses, I think that the motorcycle is going to play like an element in like normal traversal, like semi-regularly. I'm not saying I think that this is going to be like a large, like, I don't think this is going to be like a fucking Horizon Zero Dawn map that you drive around on a motorcycle.
I don't think I'd want that with this gameplay. Absolutely not. Not like in first person and like the way Metroid Prime combat plays out. I wouldn't.
These questions made me salivate for this game more than ever.
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I cannot wait. I'm glad we have a release date, December 4th. We figured it was coming out December, and it is. Can't wait. What do you guys think of this Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC? Are you even interested in this? It looks like some sort of roguelite mode. Don't really care myself, but
I want to be, but I just have too much else to do right now.
Do we know how much it is?
$20.
That's not bad.
It's not, but my schedule's packed right now to say, oh boy, more Donkey Kong.
Steve, can you tell me what Pokemon Pokopia is? I don't think I grasped this with my pea-sized brain when I saw it.
So yeah, we've been speculating for a while what the hell happened to weird Pokemon spin-offs over in PokePals land, and good news, everybody, we just needed to wait for Switch 2 to happen. Because we're a Ditto, from the first set of games, abandoned by humans, and this Ditto's pretending to be a little girl, and she's going to rebuild society for the Pokemons. The Pokermans. And we're going to do that through pretend Minecraft gameplay, sort of, it looks like. And we have a lot of faith in this because at the end, they got Koei Tecmo working on this one. And they did pretend Minecraft already with Dragon Quest Builders. So we're really, really looking forward to that over in PokePals Land. We're going to definitely put out an episode when that comes out. So everyone look forward to that. I don't know. This was kind of cute. I mean, who knows where these guys are? The humans are missing. Oh no. They also showed off.
You're not selling me on Pokopia. I tell you that much. That was not a sell at all. Jesus Christ!
I can't sell you people on Pokemon. Why expend the effort?
Jesus Christ!
Especially when they're showing off Pokemon Legends ZA, like it's coming out in a few weeks. And then they're already showing off the DLC. It's not even out yet, but it's time for DLC. Like, I know this game's been done forever, but it's kind of really shitty to do that. You couldn't wait for the February Pokemon Presents for that? I mean, that there's a full expansion when Legends Arceus didn't have one says that they got some plans, but just rubbed us the wrong way.
It's weird timing. I don't know why Nintendo seems fit to do this or stuff like this. I remember the Breath of the Wild DLC pissed some people off too. I remember it's the first time they did that. I was like, I don't know, man.
I'm sure it'll be fine. We're all going to probably sink time into it and we'll have a mini episode about it or something. But in the moment,
I don't know. I get that showing the DLC before the game comes out feels a little shitty. I'm with you.
Yeah, but it's also like Nintendo has precedent for this too. Then they showed Dynasty Warriors Origins for Switch 2, and all I can say is love yourself. Even if all you have is a Switch 2, you don't need to do this to yourself. You can play this on a real system. I promise you can. And if you don't have a real system, wait until you get one. Care about yourself more than this. Please.
I don't like this shtick as much now that the Switch 2 is out. I don't think it hits the same as it did when it was just Switch.
You saw the game I did, right? You saw that footage.
That wasn't so great, but they also showed off Resident Evil Requiem and Resident Evil 7 and 8 are also coming on the same day. I think they could have doled that out a little better, but look, I'm not going to buy this version when I do have a PlayStation 5. I mean, maybe I will when they put it for $15 just for some shits and giggles because Capcom loves them sales. But, you know, if this was all you had, or if you were in Kevin's position where, oh my God, I can't get TV time for the life of me. How am I going to play this fucking game? What they showed for Resident Evil Requiem on Switch 2 wasn't the worst fucking thing in the world. Unlike Titanic Scion, this tried.
I guess. All I can say is that, like, as I was viewing that Requiem trailer on this direct, I was like, I can't wait to go to YouTube and watch, like, real PS5 footage of the same trailer. And sure enough, that's exactly what they had. Like, that they weren't lying. They at least didn't say, oh, this is PC footage captured on. No, Capcom made a Switch footage trailer of the exact same thing for that direct. So kudos on them for showing what the game really looks like. However, I was like, okay, now show me the real thing.
I think there's also like room for these to improve drastically before they release. I don't know if you guys, so Digital Foundry's been doing a lot of stuff lately on Star Wars Outlaws on Switch 2, and apparently that looked like absolute shit like a week or two before it released when they were showing it off. And it's like fairly impressive. So I don't know. I'm just saying it's hard to like write these January games off saying, well, this footage didn't do it for me.
That is true. I mean, it is early. It's just that, here's the thing. No matter what it looks like, I have no idea why I would play this on Switch 2, personally. That's all. That just seems like a PS5 game through and through. Graphics on PlayStation 5.
Okay, well, get the fuck out of the way with this naysaying shit, because even though I thought that was because even though I thought that's how they were closing the direct, oh man, wow, Resident Evil Requiem on the same day as everything else. I guess that's a good closer. Like, we got one more thing. It's a fucking new Fire Emblem, you guys. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, and it's not just a new game, it's a Three Houses sequel. but it might be
Oh.
a prequel when I look at certain elements. I don't know, man. I can't wait for this thing. 2026. I wish I could post game this with somebody, but you guys obviously not. But man, this thing looks insane. Can't fucking wait.
Is this going to be like, I wonder how far in the future, if this is a sequel, I wonder if it's going to be like Raphael's there and he's 53 or something. Like, I wonder, I wonder what they're going to do.
Looking at it again, it actually might be a prequel too. I'm not sure where it might be a before the before thing, but that's actually what they used to do with Fire Emblems. Like each country, for lack of a better term, used to get like 2 stories of game, but then that stopped with the 3DS times when Awakening happened and became a success, because that was supposed to be like the last one in case we fucked up. Like, oh shit, we gotta make more Fire Emblems. Fates. That's it.
In Fates. Engage. I feel like everyone forgot about Engage.
I liked Engage, but Three Houses was much better. They're doing their right move and doing the Three Houses follow up. I gotta finish that Three Hopes campaign I'm in the middle of. I say campaign like it's a big deal, like it's super complicated as a Warriors game.
It is 100%. Okay, Kevin, you shit all over the partner showcase for some reason last month. Did this satiate you? Did this Direct give you what you wanted?
Mostly like this is kind of what they needed to do. I think I do want to know. I would have honestly put real world money on Mario Kart World DLC, or maybe not even DLC, just some sort of like updates or additional content. I was sure that just from the get-go that game was just going to be like a vehicle for, when Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, I was like, we're gonna see fucking DK and Pauline outfits and shit like that. Like I thought there was going to be more like ongoing support for Mario Kart World, and I was very surprised we didn't see that show up at this Direct.
I've probably said this before, but I don't know how they can DLC this game. I don't understand how you can because of this, unless you just want to make a whole other map or something. I don't know how you can add to what's already here. I mean, it's like you said, costumes and stuff. That's not new courses, right? Those are updates. But like, I'm not sure what they can do.
I've been talking about this on the SuperPod Discord. You do the smaller but still fairly robust tour maps where, oh man, there's the Donkey Kong Island and Diamond City, and oh man, it's looking up. There's the Star Road, and who's that? It's Gino and friends. Oh man!
Oh my god, he put Gino into my fucking Mario Kart World.
Where you just keep doing the same stuff, and although I do think it's kind of weird that we didn't already see Donkey Kong Bonanza stuff, because it's weird how Donkey Kong and Pauline only have 2 outfits. Mm-hmm. And how there's baby Pauline in tennis, but not here yet. But yeah, they need to save that and Mario Maker 3 for after the movie comes out, because they'll have the spring direct where after all that happens and they're like, thanks for celebrating with us, but the Mario times never end. Look at this more stuff we have coming.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna wind up seeing new tracks and shit from Mario Kart World. I think they're just gonna like incorporate them into that map. You, like Steve said, we could have islands or fucking shit that goes up into the sky, or maybe a whole other like like floating sky area with 5 fucking courses. I don't know. I think it's doable, and I think we'll see it.
I think, what I think they should do? They should just make a quickie iterative sequel, Mario Kart World 2, and just have a new map of new shit. The exact same concept, same graphics, just new map, new courses. I think that would be great. I don't think it has to be DLC. I think they should just go all the way with it.
I don't know. I just like to kind of like see this supported. This was the big fucking Switch 2 launch title. It would be cool for the first year or so to like just periodically, even like honestly, just getting costumes or like little like tie-in shit or whatever would be. It just feels like the game to do that with to me.
I agree. I can't really see it. Maybe when they actually do it, and I'm sure they will do it because Mario Kart's Mario Kart. But I'm just not seeing it right now.
It is also worth pointing out we did not get a release date of next year for the giant new mainline Zelda game, Andre. Sorry.
No, we did not. I lost my 200 fine time dollars.
We
That's
didn't
fine.
even see it.
No, didn't even sniff it. Well, see, here's the thing. I made it so hard on myself because I said 2026. I said next year. So it wasn't just seeing the thing. It was also, although I feel, and obviously this didn't come into play, here's what I was going to do. I'll tell you how I was going to weasel out of this. If they showed Zelda, but they didn't have a release date, I would have tried to con you into giving me a push. Because it's like, okay, they showed Zelda. I called Zelda, but they didn't show a release date. So to me, incomplete bet. I should get my $200 back.
No, fuck you.
They're not going to do that because next year they're going to be doing Zelda's anniversary and making a big deal out of that.
That's right. Yeah,
I tried manipulating you guys for like what I bet on something on Metacritic, and I was like, well, the fucking the Xbox version has like that score, so let's just count that. You guys told me to go fuck myself.
No, you said on Switch.
No.
I think it was Sea of Stars, right, Steve?
He was down by like 2 points, and he kept trying to bump up that Metacritic score by
we said Switch. Baby.
I think I said overall. But I was like at one point on this date, it was at 81 on Xbox or something.
So it averaged out to less than, yeah.
After 3 reviews were in, I was eligible.
It was overall, but those Xbox scores were not helping Kevin.
No, it's like, well, see what happens when you put your stuff on Xbox? You guys like, what's this? And then, you lose your fine time dollars. Thanks, Xbox.
God damn it.
Anyway, I think that's about it. That was a good direct. It wasn't like an all-timer we had last summer or anything, but it was great. I think that's about it. I think we can get out of here.
I need to go get a Band-Aid for my bleeding ass.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is still bleeding. I thought your underwear would have sopped it up by now, but...
No, you could at least, just let the towel dry a little bit before you snap it.
Sorry. Okay, look, every big deal, I'll keep trying. I'll get better. Eventually, I'll have it down pat, okay? I'll be the best towel snapper in the USA.
Down pat.
Let's get out of here. Thanks for joining us. Check the description of this podcast for our names on social media, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Fine Time. Broadcasting worldwide.